My husband is so cheap that we do not fly together when we travel. We take separate flights because we cannot get on the same page about what proper air travel should look like. He flies, like the $39 discount airline. Like, they advertise $39, but then there are all of these add-ons for like whatever. If you don't want a middle seat, or if you don't want them to punch you in the face, it's another $60. But he always gets them to stick to the advertised $39 because he travels with no luggage. I do not mean a fanny pack. I don't mean a man purse. I mean 0 luggage. He layers his clothes. He'll wear these cargo pants with all these pockets. He'll put a cell phone charger and a toothbrush in his pocket and be like, done packing. He washes his clothes in the hotel sink and hangs them out to dry like we are mountain people. When he first started doing this, I walked into the hotel and he was like, all like, he's got this hoodie on and all this. And I'm like, what are you doing? We have a formal event to go to. He ripped off his hoodie and underneath was a suit. He's like, I'm ready. And by the way, all the men who were dragged here tonight by their wives, they are sitting there thinking, I didn't know this lady's set was going to be so full of good ideas. I have a totally different philosophy. Like, when I told my priest that I've been doing a lot of ministry with the poor, I just meant I kept getting put in boarding group 5. So one time we had a trip coming up where he would just need too many changes of clothes. And I was like, they're going to get you. They're going to get you. You are going to have to carry on a bag. Even if you go full Michelin Man, there's no way. You can't layer enough for this one. So they're going to get you. And by the time that you have all of the, all the fees that they're going to charge you, you'll end up paying the same as if you were flying a real airline like me. And I'll try very hard not to say I told you so. So I walked into our room one day, and he had ripped open a neck pillow. He was stuffing it with clothes, just stuffing all these clothes in there. I walk in, he's like, only God can judge me. I was like, oh, he's judging you. He puts on his neck pillow, heads down to his flight, and if it was like he had an 18-wheeler tire around his neck. Of course, the flight attendant stopped him and was like, nice try, but sir, if I could get your credit card, we have actually an $80 carry-on fee, so if you could just hand me your credit card. He had screenshotted the FAA regulations. You know how you can screenshot with a highlight in it? He screenshotted the highlight. He's like, if you will please turn to section 3.2.1a. It says that the FAA says that you cannot count a neck pillow as a carry-on, and there is no size limitation. She was like, get on the plane. And I know that as he walked down the aisle of that plane to his middle seat in row 48, I know that every passenger on that plane was like, I will say he is a very frugal man. So much so that he convinced our children that there's a very special elf at the North Pole. This elf is in charge of quality control. And he puts his special bright orange little sticker on only the finest toys. And his name is Clarence. The kids would open their toys at Christmas and he'd be like, oh, darn it, did they misspell Clarence's name again? Oh. But Clarence is killing it. He is almost as good as the Easter Bunny's assistant rollback. He's like, these guys are incredible. One of my teen daughters was walking through the house the other day and she looked around and she said, wow, we're white trash. I said, hey, your generation doesn't understand anything. No, we're not. I said, listen. I said, look, we might live a little differently than some of your friends. But that is because your father is frugal and your mother is neurodivergent. Look it up. I said, okay, yes, I said that I was going to do a gallery wall in the living room, all right? And yes, so far it's only one picture that is crooked, and it's just that hot couple that came in the frame. But I got distracted by another project, and I just haven't had a chance to finish it in 8 months. And so, yeah, give me a break. And I said, listen, I do know that all of our lawn furniture out back, it's broken, it's rusty, and yes, your friend got trapped in the chaise lounge last time she was here. I was like, she was fine. She didn't need to do that much screaming. Like, it was... I said, but Dad has pointed out we don't have to buy a new one because if you just sit in it the right way, it won't collapse on you. I'm like, oh, we are white trash. Oh, yeah, we 100% are. A lady down the street, she said, Jen, when children spend the night at my home, I like to send them home with one of my homemade baked goods and a handwritten card that says, you're always welcome in our home. She said, what do you send children home with who visit your home? I said, usually a tetanus shot. So we have very different ideas about what our life should look like, what our budget should look like now that the kids are getting older. Because I have the Joanna Gaines vision. You guys know she's got that Magnolia magazine. Do you ever buy Magnolia magazine or look at the Instagram and you flip through it and you're like, oh, if I just had a little more money, a little more time, and an entirely different personality. This could literally be my life. Yes. So that was my vision for our backyard. I was like, we're going to do a floral gazebo, like I saw in Magnolia. So, earlier this year, my husband was out of town. I had 4 missed calls and a text message from him that said, call me, it's an emergency. My heart drops when I heard that. I called him, I said, what's the emergency? He said, our Walmart has inflatable hot tubs on sale for $249. We will never see a deal like this again. You have to go get it. Okay, first question was this. How did he get this information? He's telling me there's only one left. I'm like, what, do you have a guy at Walmart? Your Walmart plug is telling you that? How do you know these things? Second of all, I said, listen, dear husband, in all the years that we have had all of these children and the different financial ups and downs that have come with that, we have been teetering on the very razor's edge of being fully white trash. And I would like to not go completely over into that territory with a blow-up hot tub that you got on sale on the back porch. I said, now that the children are getting older, I would like to return
to being the classy people that we never were. And he was like, look, I don't even have to have it up forever, but please, we're never going to see a deal like this again. Come on, $249, like please, just go get it, and we can talk about it later. So I was like, fine. So he talked me into it. So I go to Walmart, it's at the back of the store. Sure enough, there's only one left. So I pull it, the box was so much bigger than I imagined. And so I'm pulling it off. It almost crushes me. I was like, that would be the way I die, like crushed under it, you know. I get it in the cart. Obviously, it doesn't fit. It's like diagonal in there. This massive box that's taller than I am, and I'm pushing it through the store. It became a sort of bat signal for all of the Walmart hot tub people who were there that day. They all wanted to talk to me about it. They thought it was for me. This guy walks up. He's like, listen, I'm going to give you a little tip here. Over on aisle 12, there's a koozie attachment. You put that sucker on there, you're going to be having the best time. I was like, oh, no, sir. I am not an ally to your community. This is not for me. I was like, I am only picking this up for my associate. So I get the hot tub back. He returns from out of town. He gets it set up. He's so excited. He gets the water at the right temperature. He gets the bubbles going. He finds some rusty old TV tray from somewhere in the backyard that he pulls up. It's like a dinner tray thing. He puts a plate of nachos on that tray. He cracks open one of his cheap beers. And I looked at him in that state and I was like, he has taken his final form. And I was like, all right, you get 2 more days with this. This is done. And then I am deflating this just like my dreams of having a classy backyard. This is, we're done. You got 2 days, so enjoy it. The next day I threw out my back. I had a terrible back strain. And I was walking around like, man, this is killing me. This is really a lot of pain. Ow. He said, you know what might help with that? I was like, not your stupid hot tub, never. But it just got worse, and it was so bad. And I was like, all right, 5 minutes just to prove to you that there is no use for this monstrosity that is on our back porch. So I get in the hot tub, and it felt really good. I mean, the bubbles, they were going right up where I had that muscle strain. I mean, the water was really warm. I was like, $249, really? He pulled up a tray of nachos, handed me a beer. Long story short, I was at Walmart last week and I saw a guy with one of these and I was like, listen, over on aisle 12, there's a koozie attachment. Thank you guys so much, Indianapolis. You've been amazing. Thank you.